Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakar Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect pushing this word and sincerity and truth from the four corners of the earth. Alright, I'm just back with a quick lesson. I seen on RT News, Europe must wean itself off U.S., dictate or it will lose. Iran Supreme Leader Advisor tells RT. All right, now we know that this is going into, the beast hating the whore. All right, the whore, of course, being America, and the beast being NATO and the EU, as it says in Revelations. Now you see these countries on the eastern part of the world are getting more, upset, furious, all right, with America and its policies and the wine that's, being spread across the globe, everybody's getting sick of how America conducts itself as it pertains to like international policy, and now more and more people once again are standing up and saying something. All right, but pretty soon, everybody's gonna feel this way about America. Ain't no business ventures between America and other countries gonna change that or anything. Everybody is going, like the scriptures say, hate the whore. Everybody gonna hate America, and eventually America will be destroyed. All right, as it says, as prophesied in the scriptures. But I'm gonna start an article. Europe's total dependence on Washington will lead it nowhere other than to its own demise. A senior advisor to Iran Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has alleged, calling on Europeans to break free from America's grip. All right, because they know America's evil, and America has a track record of doing business with people and basically giving them their ass to kiss in the end. After America gets what they want from you, all right, they give you their ass to kiss. All right, and this guy, the Iran leader, knows this, which everybody knows this, you know what I'm saying? But it's not time for everybody to hate America yet, all right? But it will come. It says Europe is a major political force on the international arena, yet it prefers to quietly follow the policy imposed by Washington. Ali Akbar Velayati told RT Arabic. Velayati, a former Iranian foreign minister, suggested that if Europe truly wishes to distinguish itself as a major player in world politics and improve its relations with the Islamic Republic and its allies, it should pursue an independent policy, basically break away from America. All right, if Europe decides to follow America's lead, then it will undoubtedly lose. It says for more than a year, European nations have been desperately trying to keep the nuclear deal struck in 2015 between Iran, France, Germany, the UK, and the US, as well as Russia and China. The agreement envisages the lifting of sanctions in exchange for Tehran accepting certain limitations to its nuclear program and allowing regular inspections by the International Atomic Energy Agency. U.S. President Donald Trump made dismantling the landmark agreement known as JCPOA its policy and unilaterally withdrew from it in May 2015, citing alleged violations by Tehran, which was probably a lie, all right? But Europe, in turn, sought to preserve the deal while also trying not to tremendously upset their American partners. So basically, America is bullying everybody, all right? Europe actually want to be in the deal, but they don't want to step on America's toes, all right? Because at this point, America still strikes fear in some of these nations. But that's going to end as well, all right? Like the scriptures say, let the weak say I am strong. All right, everybody building up a military, all right? It says such a situation did not sit well with Iran, which repeatedly criticized Europe for failing to fulfill its commitments under the accord. Velaity said that European nations made empty promises to Iran while ultimately no practical steps to fulfill their obligations followed. And they got that from America, because that's how America moved, man. All right. It says the only made statements and wasted time, but they haven't actually done anything except express their solidarity with Iran. The former foreign minister particularly criticized INSTEX, short for Instrument in Support of Trade Exchanges, a European special purpose vehicle that is supposed to help European companies trade with Iran without fear of sanctions repercussions from across the Atlantic. All right, meaning without fear of America. All right, now this is going back to the point why the beast is going to end up hating the whore. All right, because America always got their business in somebody, always got their nose in somebody's business. Like the scripture says, he's a proud man who can't stay at home. All right, so when it says without fear of sanctions and repercussions from across the Atlantic, they talking about back here on the western side of the world. Because you notice, because you see Trump putting sanctions on somebody every other day. Basically telling them what they can and they can't do as far as trade or whatever have you. This is another reason, because they messing around with everybody's money, trying to play Big Brother. All right, but it says INSTEX is the proposed mechanism for financial transactions. However, no practical steps have been made to implement it, and nothing is being done at this time. It says its functions were apparently limited to what the European nations called high priority humanitarian goods, such as food and medical supplies. Meanwhile, European companies are still not rushing to trade with Iran out of fear of losing the American market as a result of possible sanctions. Following JCPOA's pullback, the U.S. slapped Iran with several rounds of ever stricter sanctions, and particularly sought to disrupt the Islamic Republic's oil trade by bringing its exports down to zero. They real big on, having oil over there in the Middle East. So America tried to hit them where it hurt. Once again, this is why the beast is going to hate the whore, man. America does too much. All right, they're always in somebody's business, man. It says, in particular, it relentlessly pressures both Europe and Asia nations to stop purchasing Iran's oil. Velaity, however, maintains that no American sanctions could force Tehran to bow to the U.S.'s will. All right, see, that's the energy that all these nations is going to have in a minute. He said we don't give a damn about no sanctions, no matter what America say. We're going to do what we want to do. All right, these countries, they got their chests out, man. They're not scared of America no more, man. And the countries that's, really, let's say, soft on it right now, like Asia was mentioned, not to buy oil from, Iran and of course, Europe. It's just that they doing business with America right now. Eventually, they going to say F the business that we got going on, and they're going to feel the same way. All right, it says, after all, Iran has been living under some sort of a sanction regime for 40 years, since its 1979 Islamic Revolution, and has since got used to them. Iran has learned to adapt. To get around the sanctions, you will need more than just sanctions to subdue such a nation as Iran. He said, so far, Iran does not see any positive changes in the position of the U.S. and its allies, and plans to further cut back its commitments under the deal. Velaity warned, if our European counterparts don't honor their obligations under the nuclear deal, we will have no reason to honor ours. Saying we about to get nuclear weapons too. You see how everything is going back to war. All right. Basically, why do we have to be under this deal that y'all not following? Because America ain't following no damn deal. He was referring to the Europeans on the eastern part of the world. But you know, America, it don't matter what damn deal you got with them, they doing something slick where you can't see them at. And these nations know this, man. It's just, you know, when you look at Iran, they've been at constant war with America since forever. You know what I'm saying? I think since Bush Sr., they was over there in the Middle East. So they got a real strong hatred for America. And that same strong hatred that you see that the Ishmaelites, you know them as Arabs, but the Ishmaelites over there have for the so-called white man over here in America is the same type of hate and anger that you're going to see all the nations on the eastern part of the world have. All right? Because America is going to keep effing up and being in everybody's business, and countries is going to continue to get angry, and eventually war is going to start. And America will lose. It's prophesied in the scriptures. All right? They will lose. So I just wanted to do that quick video. I hope it was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.